Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Zigzag here, and today we are back on the road to #1 Jules player in the world. So we're currently seated at, what number here? Number 144 in the world. We went on a big, long win streak last time, and in the last two episodes we have 14 wins and 16 games. So really good win rate, but we've been only playing lower rated opponents. So let's see if we can find some higher rated opponents today. And yeah, it's going to be 1,000 plus players, so that's at least something here. See if we can play well, and looking like Eastern Europe somewhere here with these red roofs and all that bit here. Poles are rather thin for what I would expect in Czechoslovakia. We do not have an antenna either, so this should be somewhere in Serbia, theoretically. Serbia and North Macedonia being the two countries most commonly without an antenna in this area. There are still other options around the place, like Slovakia, it still could be, but I feel pretty good. And it was actually NMK there, definitely a very green NMK, so a good guess from our opponent here, Colin, who must have found, I guess, some Cyrillic or something like that, or maybe just had a good vibe guess there. Next one here, probably just Singapore, and we do have Singaporean flags, so let's just get in here and get this round over and done with. Obviously, on Singapore, you're never going to lose or gain too many points, so just clicking middle there like that is really only going to ever, like, take away 11 points or something like that, so really not too bad when there are no multis. Okay, next one here should be somewhere in Bolivia, but do we have a black car? Because if we do, then I guess not. Okay, it's a divided highway here. It's very flat, so yeah, and we do have some mountains-ish north. Now, can we see any electricity counters to confirm that's not... Doesn't look like a Peruvian one to me. I would say it's not Peru here. And we don't have any, like, pole paints or anything like that either, even though this pole top kind of looks Peruvian. The other ones, I would say, are sufficiently Bolivian here. So let's get our marker down on this kind of thing here, maybe the #1. If we're headed north to south on a divided highway, then it's probably #1, either near Oru or just near La Paz there. And we are indeed just near La Paz. Fair enough guess for Sucre here, but it would be a bit more mountainous around there. So that's at least some good damage there. Cannot complain about that at all. Obviously, the capital bias in this map is also influencing our guess there. Next one, black back of the sign there, but it's actually just going to be somewhere in Austria here inside Vienna. So we have these like Viennese street signs there, but the black back of the sign is definitely unique. You don't really see that too often in Austria at all. So definitely an interesting round there in some ways. But we're up to the healing round here. Both of us just have lost about the same amount of points here, so we hope it's a hard round. Looks just like Sweden-Finland toss-up here, and we don't really have to risk it at all. It looks more like Finland, but you just click here, and then you're guaranteed to get all your points back. If you're in the kind of situation that I'm in here. He needs a good guess. He does get a good guess, and so we're both going to be going to full health here, which is good. Okay, so let's see what happens in the next one here. 1.5 times damage maybe in Europe here. We're driving right. Could be still North America. Looks like a European road here. Long antenna. Thought of, like, northern Ukraine here. That's my thought at this stage. I think I'm going to go for it as well. Let's see if he moves. Will he see the red car at all? I just thought without any, like, car showing, that's much more common in Ukraine. And it is just Russia there. He goes for a similar guess to us, though. So I guess we got let off a little bit there, because he could have done, like, 2,000 points damage or more. Like, even 3,000 with an insane guess. But, yeah, I mean, okay, interesting. Good to know. Always testing things out with the car metas, you guys know. But that's a fine result. Next one here is just easy Lesotho. I think clicking Masaru is probably best. It's very sunny. Yeah, I think just clicking Masaru is best here, and it is just north. I don't know, I can't really tell the difference between north and south on the western side of the country, so I think clicking Masaru is a pretty legit tactic there, despite not being the best guess in the end. 2.5 times damage here is Australia. It looks like it will probably be Australia here. We could move for clues. That's a Victorian pole. That's the great thing about knowing Australia. If you see a pole top, you can really advantage yourself. This is not an easy round either. It kind of looks like Sydney to me. So if he doesn't know his pole tops, then he's going to struggle here, I think. And it is just Melbourne. He gets it. And Colin definitely putting on a good show at the moment. Seems to be a strong player. Probably knew the pole top, if I'm honest. Otherwise, I don't really know how he would have gotten that. Next one, he has triple damage in Bermuda, I want to say. And yeah, this is even a repeat. We've had this, which is crazy because, of course, World Map has like a million locations on it. So to have a repeat on World Map is much less likely than on the other maps. But to be honest, though, it is also true that in World Map you get like really like some areas are super concentrated, like Bermuda and Midway Atoll and stuff like that. So yeah, some trekkers do appear more than you'd expect. Anyway, that was an exact repeat, though. I remember those buildings. Next one here, we're going to be somewhere in... Okay, this pole top, yeah. I think this is going to be West Java, right? I think that's the vibe I'm getting here. We got Javanese roofs, and we have this really raised pole top, which I thought was West Java. Pretty sure it is. If not, maybe somewhere around here. Maybe it's Central Java. Could also be that, I guess. I can't remember. And it was actually Central Java. Okay, good to remember. I'll remember that raised one next time, but obviously that's huge damage, 7.7k. That is the beauty of Indonesia there. And we gain 7 rank points there, which is obviously fantastic. So let's see if we can repeat that form in the next one here. Who's our opponent going to be? None other than BirdPie, who's often in the comments. So shout outs to him. He's got a YouTube channel of his own. You can check it out. And I'll see how we go on this round against him. Looking like Uruguay or Argentina here. Polls feeling Uruguayan? I would say this is right near Montevideo. In fact, I'm almost certain of it. So let's see if he knows his stuff with these poles. These square ones, definitely common in Uruguay, and then also these palms, really reminding me of Montevideo area. Definitely often near the coast. So, yeah, Rosario's not a terrible guess there, but obviously it's going to be 1,000 points of damage on the first round there. So that's a really great result for us, especially because this is the type of opponent where plenty of points are on offer for us, especially if we play well. Okay, next one here, looking like maybe Slovakia here. Not Slovakia, Croatia here. I would go here. I don't know if it's actually like really pinpointable, but with this language, he should be able to get the country. Also lacking a blue strip here was the thing that really gave it away to me. Actually, all the way out east there, he goes Zagreb, so it's a little bit of a better region guess for us here, bringing him below 5,000 health. Moving on to round 3. Would have been difficult NMPZ. Let's see what we have here, though. Hyundai. And we're going to be somewhere in Czechia. Now, I think I will actually try and get this one out here because we have the signs so obvious here. So let's see. What's the biggest one likely to be? Rabova. Yeah, I don't exactly know where this is going to be. I'm looking for any of them, though I think just clicking middle here towards this section of the country is probably... Oh, that's one of them, is it? No. Okay, well, I thought that this one might have been the one starting with H, but hey, we get a bit lucky there, clicking over the right side of the country just in time. Okay, next one here, round number 4, and we're looking at Eunos Primary School, which is probably going to be in... Yeah, just somewhere in Singapore here, surely. I'm going to actually have a look around again, because obviously there's not many points going to be exchanged here anyway, but could this be still... I don't think... It's too clean for Malaysia, I think. The number plate also doesn't really fit the Malaysian format, so it is just going to be over there. Okay, so heading through to the healing round here, we basically have 21 HP to regain, and he has a margin more. And it's a fairly easy Germany here, so we're going to have to just guess immediately here and prevent him from getting any further points. So I think Hamburg is really likely here. Lots of brick buildings, lots of winter coverage around the spot. This is surely Hamburg, right near the harbour, actually. Right? So, yeah. Okay, and it is going to be Hamburg, and he's going to get it nailed on the head. So that's no good. That's not what we wanted to see on the healing round, but hey, it's okay. And we're only at a 200-point advantage here, heading into round number 6 with double yellow lines in the center, probably Danish yellow white lines here. And I would say Copenhagen makes a lot of sense here. It is very flat. I might just click here instead, though. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels decent here. It could be the other side of the country, but I wanted to go for something interesting. It's not necessarily easy either, but it is just Copenhagen there. Okay, interesting. I mean, a lot of the time on Jules, you don't get Copenhagen. I feel like you get the rest of the country a bit more on Denmark, but that makes sense. I mean, it did kind of have capital city vibes. Okay, now we have some Ghana. I've learned some new Ghana metas, so let's see if we can make this work here. So we are headed... Okay, so let's check this one out. Yeah, it's the normal car. We've got a lot of palms, and we've got hills, like... And we've also got a haze here. I kind of want to say that we might be... over on this section here, you know, like around here somewhere. I mean, road angle not really fitting that well for the exact place I've clicked, but I'm going to give it a go here. Why not? Okay, we actually were there. Very nice indeed. Double damage is not actually going to be that insignificant there. It's going to be almost 1,000 points damage, so bringing him below 5k health here. That's very good. Learning those Ghana car metas is pretty good. You can check it out on Plonket. Anyway, next one here, we have some like Norfolk Pines or something, and it looks like it's going to be chilly. And it should be around Santiago here. I'm very amenable to just clicking Santiago and around like this, I think. Maybe like Viña del Mar area here is going to be good. I think he's just going to go Santiago. So really, I mean, we probably should have just clicked there because we're not really going to gain much here by being a little bit off. But okay, we're going to gain a little bit here at least. It's actually 400 kilometers north though, so not a very good guess. But Chile, really a weak suit of mine. I should really get good at it because I do love that country. Anyway, triple damage here. We've got Russian flag. We've got like short antenna. Do we see anything else here? Ooh, Magazine, sorry, no, never mind. But with the Chinese here, thinking of Far East Russia, but we do not have, what's that, Oblast flag or something? We do not have the short antenna very often over there. I think we should move for this. It's Russia. Let's just see if we can gain anything here. What does this say? Ooh. Marxa. Interesting. I don't think that's actually helpful. I don't think it's the city name. We have a big river here. Okay, like, thinking like Asia Bus, huh? Okay, I'm thinking like Krasnoyarsk maybe, but Krasnoyarsk has to have like big hills. These might not be big enough. Tomsk maybe is possible, but not really sure about that actually either. I don't think Tomsk. Okay, what do we have here? Ooh, like, okay. What does it say? Yeah, I think I just, ooh. Black cartoon antenna. That can actually be Vladivostok. Okay, so let's go back to the start here. Obviously, this is going to be massive damage. So we've got like harbor to the south here. It surely feels good. I would love to see the bridge though before we guess. I mean, it's just so risky. But this car is found there. I have to go for it, guys. We had Chinese writing. And, okay, it's Khabarovsk. That makes so much sense with the massive river. I completely forgot the river one, I guess, but it's enough damage to take him out. That's a tough game for him there, and we get 8 points of rating there, which is really good. Let's head through to another one here. Maybe we'll face him again. And this time we face Hessel, J, and a lower-rated opponent this time, so hopefully feeling a bit more confident here. But let's see what we got going on. Big rocks here exposed everywhere, so I want to try Sweden here. Could this be Åland? I think it might be Åland. I think it might be, actually, I feel like it's kind of good for Åland here, but maybe it's a bit too developed. It's there. I feel like it's there or Sweden. Could be Finland still, but this many rocks reminds me more of Sweden. So let's see if I'm right. It was actually Helsinki. Okay, that is interesting. Not a terrific guess here. Although they do 400 points damage to us, there's no Generation 2 camera in Latvia, so not really making the most sense with a guess there. But yeah, I guess I put time pressure on, so you can't really expect the guesses to be fantastic in that situation. This is Poland, and I want to say it's a little further north. Even though we have hills, I want to say this is kind of central Poland instead of southern. But it was just kind of middle there, near Łódź, so good guess from my opponent, definitely making sense, and we're taking early damage, so obviously out of all the opponents we've had so far in the video, this is the one who we don't want to lose to, so we have to make really good guesses. This might be Dry Ecuador. Yeah, it's Dry Ecuador, I think. Yeah, it's a round pole. So this is an incredibly hard round to get unless you know. So I kind of like our chances to get some good damage here. The question is does it say Ecuador here? Ooh, I think it does. It's got Ecuadorian colors. Yeah, .ec. Okay, our opponent will get it here. That's unfortunate. Why do we have to be next to the billboard? I don't know, but I mean, maybe they miss it here. Maybe they panic and they actually go Peru. So they actually got a really good vibe there without seeing the URL. Actually managing to get the area, which is pretty impressive, I would say. Although, like, with that car, again, not making sense at all. So, interesting. Anyway, next one here should be Cape Town, I would say. So I'm just going to go straight in for it here. So Cape Town, you'll often see yellow, like number plates on vehicles that you wouldn't see really in the rest of South Africa. So let's see what kind of guess we can see from our opponent here. Some of the guesses have struck me as quite strange, even though, like, they've been getting really close. Let's see here. Okay, not this time, though. They actually go in Pennsylvania, despite left-hand drive there, so that's great for us. Now we head through to the healing ground, where they obviously at a significant disadvantage, but we still want to get as close as we can here, because we can gain a significant amount of HP regardless. This is the US, and it reminded me fairly south here. Now, I'd love to see a state flag or something. Not that I know that many of them. It's definitely US. I feel like at this level of healing, we don't really want like them to like find a proper clue here. So I think we just kind of click central south here. I thought like maybe Georgia, South Carolina were a decent option here. Or it could just be like Texas or something as well. So we do have fronts here. Maybe it is Texas, actually. I don't know. I don't actually know really what's going on here. It's definitely a difficult round. Oh, Texan flag. Yeah. Okay, so we go for the same guess there. And it's better for us, because we didn't really have to gain that much, and our opponent did. Okay, yeah, definitely makes sense with the Texas. I should have checked for front plates, because I think I could have managed to convince myself to go there had I seen those. Anyway, next one here, we're going to be somewhere in Singapore with these street signs, so hopefully our opponent gets a little flustered or something. It is possible to go Hong Kong and around like this when you have a few yellow plates in view, but that's just on vans or something like that, isn't it? Yeah, so that's kind of the way it works over in Singapore. Will our opponent get it? They do, and it's not going to be much damage at all here, but really have to hold our nerve here. This is the type of duel where we can lose a lot, so we really don't want to. Double damage here. Black back of the sign should be like Italy, probably Sicily, if I had to say. just because we get like quite a southern vibe with this architecture, I would say. It certainly can't be too far north, but I'll hedge it like around here, I think. Could be Sardinia. I've said this a few times in a row where I do think of Sardinia after, but I don't think this time. Yeah, it is just Sicily. And good guess from our opponent. Definitely in making a range of good and weaker guesses, but surely we're at advantage here because we still have our moving round left over, and we get Australia to boot. So let's go for this one. Should be Vic. Looks like Victoria indeed. It's going to be Melbourne. We saw some Melbourne-specific meta here. I'll show you guys that quickly. So this blue rectangle within the white rectangle is only found in Melbourne. Only place in Australia where you can find it. ACT is not a bad guess there. I can't even lie because we did have blue number plates and it was hilly, but that was just Melbourne and we take out the W there. So how much are we going to gain? Just 3, but we are now climbing up. Let's actually see where that places us in the world because we've done some climbing here. That actually puts us at number 112, so we can easily enter the top 100 again here if we win on this one. And our opponent is going to be 1,100 rated plus. So probably 6 or 7 points available here, most likely. We start off in Bulgaria, I would say. Looks like BG to me. Could still be in Romania, I suppose. So that's what I'm looking for here. Round pole's definitely fitting for Bulgaria. I don't know, like it just feels a bit more Bulgarian. There we have some Cyrillic as well. Excellent. I don't know, it could be Sofia, could be Varna. I kind of get like a Varna Burgas here vibe here, but also Plovdiv option, so we just click middle here. That's really the best option, in my opinion. And looking around, yeah, probably Sofia, if we're honest, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. It was Sofia, and our opponent gets a good guess round number 1 there. So, yeah, I mean, I'm willing to take a risk like that. Before I was moving around, I did kind of get the feeling that the middle hedge was the best option. Anyway, next one here, no time to chat. Should be in Spanish, these signs, shouldn't they? And we've got, on the N1, we've got Madrid there. Now, where's Burgos? Is that actually something findable? Burgos is in the same direction, so guess I would just go near Burgos here, just because, I mean, like, should be the kind of area we're in here. If we are, like, thinking of the same thing. Or it's the N1 we're south of it here. I don't even know which one the N1 is, but okay, it's just Madrid. That makes a lot of sense. Clearly didn't read the signs there, or just thought maybe oh, actually, no. He may have read the signs. He may have thought, actually, like, because they were in the same direction. Yeah, okay, making a lot of sense, actually, in hindsight. Anyway, this one's Alaska or something. Okay, do you have this polar bear number plate? So we should be somewhere in Yellowknife? I think this looks like Yellowknife anyway, right? Yeah, we have the kind of crap in the lens here, which makes me think of Yellowknife. Now, is anything actually else possible here? I think it's too flat for Yukon. Yeah, it feels quite flat, so thinking, I guess it's good here. Let's see, though. It was, of course. Innovic there. Of course, that makes sense. Not a good guess from us. That actually could have been huge damage, had he made a better guess, but fortunately we saw that number plate. Now, forgot about Innovic's existence there, because that definitely makes more sense. Anyway, here we are looking at 031. Yeah, I'm not so sure. It's fairly hilly here, though. I mean, these apartment buildings definitely remind me of Seoul. However, it is very hilly, so I guess we could be like eastern suburbs of Seoul here, making the most sense. Let's see. Okay, it was just southern suburbs there. We have some hills there. Okay, that makes sense. Obviously, Korea is a massively mountainous country, but often you do get flat around some of the time. Healing around here. How much do we have to heal here? Not too much, I thought. Yeah, not too much. It should be somewhere like East Coast, surely. Silver Car was more more west, as I remember, actually, yeah. So I guess we should be like somewhere like Kisumu area, I think, or Nakuru. No. Okay, wow, I really forgot that. Okay, it doesn't matter. We heal up to full health anyway, but just a terrible guess from you there. I saw the palm tree, so I was ready to guess it, but then I already forgot the old car meta, because you don't need it anymore, basically. Anyway, 1.5 times damage here. We got single yellow line, and I don't know where we are. Looks like it's probably Mexico. I'm actually going to move here, just because I didn't quite get the vibe yet. What was that? Okay, it was actually Thailand here. So, given that it's Thailand, feels like it's probably just like kind of central, eastern here. Didn't get that vibe. I cannot lie. When I was standing here, we had wooden poles, and so That's just very confusing. And this car light is not very commonly shown in Thailand either. Now, what I should have done was like worked out which side of the road we were driving on there, which is obviously left, and then we easily like move forward with a good advantage there without having moved. But hey, that's the way I roll. I wasn't quite sure. I had to just make that split-second decision. This is a Johor street sign, so let's get in here and go. Very nice. Yeah, not too much else to say. Once you know the yellow street signs in Malaysia are only in Johor, then you are really set to go for some good guesses. And we'll probably see that our opponent knows this, I would assume, once he moves over here. But it's possible he doesn't, in which case we get a massive... Like, goes Singapore, bro. Unbelievable. Unless he's trolling. He might be trolling, but if he actually thought that was Singapore, then that's so unlucky, because if only it was KL or something, we could have gotten massive damage. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here we are in 2.5 times damage, and we are looking at... Po Valley... or something, no? Oh, no, actually, just Greece here. Okay, so if we're Greece, probably northern Greece I would associate with this kind of climate. Yeah, we do have, like, some slighter hills here. I'm gonna go, like, this kind of area here, I think. Okay, yeah, actually 5Ks, and in hindsight, I was kind of thinking something south is kind of likely here. He does 1,000 points damage, so I think that's just a good guess. Where I guessed didn't actually make a whole lot of sense, I think. Anyway, next one's Portugal. Let's get a good vibe guess here. He'll definitely get the country. Oh, we have place names here. Geoguessr. I'm actually not going to focus on that too much. I think this is about halfway up the country, if I am calculating correctly. Maybe even a bit further up. So, given that's the case, we'll just see if these are big places. I doubt they are. Yeah, not really seeing them. So let's just go for this guess here. Do we actually see them if we zoom in again here? Seems like they're quite small places. And it's just going to be fairly north there. Okay, so my initial guess of middle wasn't as good as my second guess, but would have been even better if I hedged up a little bit further. 3.5 times damage here. Obviously, we've used our moving, so we're in a sticky situation here for sure. This should be somewhere in Crow. Yeah, it's going to be somewhere Crow, but I would say, like, significantly close to the Slovenian border, in my opinion here. It's hilly, and it feels like Slovenia. It feels like near where I stayed in Putui, so maybe I should have gone further that direction, but can easily be Novo Mesto kind of area too. And it was actually Serbia. Didn't even check for antenna there. That's crazy. Just the lack of blue strip I thought was enough, but you do of course see that in Serbia as well. It's just much less common. Anyway, next one here, quadruple damage somewhere in Israel. We kind of get lucky on that last round, by the way. And so this feels like north of like, I'm gonna go like Nazareth area here. I think it feels like north of Tel Aviv. Could be south, but I feel like I got that north vibe just off the amount of trees that we saw in the distance, and that's gonna be another 1,000 points damage. So can't complain there. We've been getting nice rounds. That Serbia one should have way advantaged us if I had have checked, but obviously it could have gone badly as well. Next one here, we are driving right. We are in what here? Now, I would say going capital city is best here, because this kind of like pine tree kind of leads me to believe it's kind of higher altitude here, and that would like kind of like if we're in a big city, then ooh, he confuses the cars. We get lucky there because this guy was not bad. He really just confused the cars quite badly there, and obviously that's going to be 7 points of rank there. So we should be around the top 100 now. Let's go for another duel here, see if we can actually continue this climb. We're on a really long win streak here. When you consider last episode was about 8 wins in a row, and now we've gotten 4 here today or something. So 900 rated opponent on the next one here. Let's see if we can continue this win streak. I would very much like to. And it looks like it's going to be somewhere in Sulawesi, I would say. Yeah, Sulawesi making the most sense here. Could it be elsewhere? Now, yes, but feel like Sula is fitting better here. Bollards kind of look Sulawesi as well. Really wide poles here are kind of confusing me. And also this smudge is kind of interesting too. And also the palms. I mean, yeah, the oil palms here. So... do I actually like that for Sula? I have to be really objective here, because obviously the black car leans you towards Sulawesi, but this many oil palms is certainly strange. Like, might even go for a hedge here, but black car though. Yeah, could move here, but I don't really know how much we find beyond poles. But this one here, I really... just doesn't look enough like a Sula pole to me. I think I'll hedge in Kalimantan here. I actually don't want to lose... I'm going to try and lose as few points as I can here. I'm going to go for that. Oh my gosh, guys. Let's see if we can actually make it out what it actually would have been here. Maybe even Kalimantan might be right, you know. I'm actually not too sure here. The oil palms are definitely kind of weirding me out. This could be just a Sula pole, though. Might be. Okay, was actually just, yeah, definitely massive Sumatra vibes. Just struggled to go there with the oil palms everywhere. We don't actually lose that much. 3.2k there is pretty good because obviously Indo, as we saw later on Maltese, is just horrible. I think those pole tops we should have gotten that, but here we are in an interesting round here. I mean, Langfontein, we're going to be somewhere in South Africa here. These hills, surely, like Durban, between Durban and East London here, for sure. I actually kind of prefer Richards Bay area now that I see that, but especially with the Dutch as well, I feel, but I mean, it's okay. We're going to be, like, decently close here, and it's not an easy round. And he goes Brazil, that's understandable right there. So, yeah, it is just Durban Hill stats, 4.5k damage. All of a sudden, we're back in the advantage, but still in a precarious position where we could lose points big time. Okay, next one here. We are back in Southeast Asia, but this time we're going to be somewhere in Sri Lanka. We've got this Sri Lankan Google guy. He might not know, especially because we don't have any language around. This could be a more difficult round if he doesn't know the car meta, especially because for newer players coming in, the old Generation 3 in Sri Lanka is not that common anymore. And yeah, we're going to knock him out like that. That's a pretty unfortunate way for him to go out because he started off so well. But yeah, that's it for that one. So we're only going to gain 2 points there. Understandable indeed. Let's go for another one here as we continue our road to number 1. We're facing another 800 rated opponent. That's unfortunate, but looking like I've got some pole meta here. Probably going to be Thailand. It's a nice start. And so, yes, I think so. Now, do we have anything meta-wise here? Not really. It is very green, and we do have big mountains there in a way that makes me consider south. But ultimately, on a round like this, without much info, I'm going to click near Bangkok, hedging for north and south mountains here. We don't have many palms, so I think north is more likely. But ultimately, I kind of want to get the guess quickly here as well, because it's not that easy of a round. And it is just north there. Yeah, lack of palm trees probably could send north fairly safely there, but I guess like I just hadn't really registered that by the time I made the guess. Next one here, a waterfall. So this is interesting. We might have to count this as indoor trekker. No, not really, but what is this about then? It's very familiar, but obviously these guys looking more Asian to me, I would say. But where would you have trekker like this in Asia is the question. I don't know if moving would even help that much here. So what about poles? Like a bit black and... he must have found something. Okay, so they're all like quite short in stature. Like I know that like Indonesians are the shortest people by nation in the world, so I might just try Indo here, though it doesn't feel that good, we'll see. And it was actually a really good guess there. Bali has a lot of trekker. I remember seeing Bali trekker, and he goes for China there, so actually used people height meta there to get the country. That's kind of crazy. But okay, next one here. And I guess Bali has trekker because it's touristy. Anyway, next one here should be somewhere in Spain. Let's try and make out some language here. It looks just like Spanish to me. Interesting shop. And I don't think, like, I might get like a bit of a southern vibe. I don't know about this architecture though. It's really cool. Maybe this is like, You know what? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hit the good old guess Madrid. That's the way I'm gonna roll today. And we move one spot, and all of a sudden I don't regret that at all because we're gonna be somewhere up here. That is why the architecture is weird. I knew it was strange, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It is all the way up there. And yeah, we saw that church. If you rewind, we saw a church in the background, and I was about to guess south, and I looked at it. I was like, that looks like a British church or something like that. And that is why, because we were in the north of Spain, where you get that kind of Celtic influenced architecture. Anyway, next one here, we have an antenna. And it should just be like Slovenia or Croatia here. So that's what I'm going to go for. Slovenia most likely. I don't know, these forest rounds are super common there. I remember when I was over there, I drove through some of these forests. But yeah, architecture is good, actually. We're fine. Should see some red house number? We do. Excellent. We're in the right country here. Red house numbers all over the country of Slovenia, apart from in the capital. And that's going to be another good amount of damage there. Almost 1,000 or over 1,000 points. So this episode going swimmingly. And we should see some healing on this round for sure. Now, we don't need any healing. Only a bit. We appear to have some, like... Well, it looks like it's Poland. Of course, it was Poland there, and we didn't really have to get close. Neither did our opponent did though, and they managed to. So well done to them. Moving on to 1.5 times damage. Might have to move on this round. Looks like some more trekker here. Ooh, it's just gonna be somewhere in Bangladesh here. Not an easy round if he can't manage to find any writing here. This is not easy. It looks kind of like Indonesia or something. But as he goes this direction. Yeah, he'll see enough language to be able to get it now. I do think my region guess is pretty good here. You often see rice north of Dhaka. That's my own little meta here that I discovered. Let's see if it's true. And yeah, we basically 5k up there. He goes in India. Unfortunate stuff there. So obviously that is the end of the duel. We're only going to pick up 2 points there, but let's see where that places us in the world. If we're top 100, then I'll call it a day. And we are going to be in 91st position there. So that is all for today's episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So till next time, guys, and goodbye.